The table was set with food, fruit, food, drinks, and food some more. The walls were decked with an immaculate decor, and the ambiance was elegance galore, and the aroma smelled of the sweet fragrance of fellowship. And sometimes I can't see how I had the opportunity of attending a wedding feast hosted by a king for his son, who'd sent out his servants to summon those invited to the banquet, but they didn't come. Perhaps they didn't know the benefits, so he sent his servants out again. The king said, "Tell those who are invited, look, I have prepared my dinner. There's no petite meat. The best has been brought and everything is prepped to perfection. So please come to my son's wedding reception." But they paid no attention. In fact, some were so indifferent. Voices from the crowd yelled aloud, I have to tend to my farm. The other, I have to tend to my business. Then some from the crowd were just pretentious and evil for God knows what. They seized his servants and took them in cold blood. They literally killed the messenger. So the rest of us sat silently in our seats as those servants saluted their host, reporting back with the news of how that crowd had done the most. It's safe to say that although they didn't attend the feast, they had the toast, because the king put out a decree. Burn down the city. I have no pity for the fool who disrespects me, my son, and my summons as such. And as much as it hurts to admit, those who I originally invited were not worthy. So please, go back out into the street and bid everyone to come. Extend the invitation to all. We must fill this wedding hall for my son, because there will be a celebration. So some servants went without hesitation to the people, this time receiving a different outcome. Voices from the crowd yelled aloud, "Yeah, I'll come." And another, "Yeah, I'll come." Even the kids too. When asked who'd like to join, they said, "I do." And so they all came. And we just about danced the night away to much melodious music. But this magical moment was interrupted by a man spotted by the king not wearing the wedding garments. These wedding garments, the badge for homage, represents the joy in one's heart for the occasion. So to not wear one was simply dishonor. The king was probably thinking, I come out to meet my guest, and I'm insulted by this mess. But he asked him nicely, "How did you get in here without wedding clothes, friend?" And the man had no amends. He stood there, speechless. Pardon my interruption to this story, but how do you not have an answer for the actions when you're being asked by the king? So you mean to tell me you were bold enough to be confrontational but not conversational? But then again, there are few words to be exchanged for outright disobedience. The garments were freely given to you like everyone else, but you chose to be expedient. How convenient and improper to impose his seditions and downright disrespect in the presence of greatness. How do you show your hind in front of your highness? Maybe it was the messenger's mistake. Maybe they didn't relay the whole truth. They just told him, "This invitation is for you to come freely as you are." And yes, this is true, but here's where the petition should change. It should read, "Come as you are, but you can't stay as you came." But back to what I was saying. "Invite them," said the king. "I'm coming," said the crowd. "I'm grateful to be here," said the comer. "But I'm not changing," said the coward. He could have at least confessed his pride and suggested his pity. This wasn't pretty. The room stood still like a city on a hill made with alloy iron and carbon steel. Like images, I can still picture the atmosphere charged with the idea that the coward knew, and the sense that he had no valid excuse. There was nothing left for the king to do, so he said, "Tie him hand and foot and throw him out into the darkness." Now, I don't mean to make light of that moment, but theoretically speaking, the king said go, the crowd said whoa, the coward yelled no, and I said, oh, he just made room for another. Hence the reason why I bother to retell the story of what happened in the previous hours. Yes, the previous hours of the wedding feast, for it is still going on. There is still plenty to eat. You're probably thinking, this is interesting, but why am I here and not there, and why am I telling you? Well, let me give you a clue. I am a messenger, commissioned to go gather the group who missed the first, second, and third call. All are welcome. And in this minute, I am also an indication that there is still time. So consider this your personal invitation.